too dope, kid.
You are now listening to the Internal Affairs podcast.
Hello, welcome. This is the premiere, finally, of the Internal Affairs podcast. How y'all feeling, man? What's good, yo? I appreciate y'all for actually taking your time out to listen. If you follow me online and you was kind of anticipating the podcast, I really appreciate that, man. That's dope. It's real dope. I appreciate the support. I appreciate your time, like I said. Shout out to everybody over at the Creators District, yo. If you're not familiar with the Creators District, log on to www.creatorsdistrictllc.com. Creators District is spelled with a Z. When you get over there, you can scroll down to the bottom of the page if you ever so choose to. You can put in your email, hit subscribe, and you will be notified with all the latest content by way of email. Yo, man, I said finally, right? Because this been a long time coming for me. I'm not gonna lie. The last couple months putting this podcast together. First off, I want to say I had no prior knowledge to podcast, and I had no idea what go into it, the different components, the little things that really matter and really count. And I did this on my own, so I really take my hat off to anybody that's into podcasting and they built their thing from the ground up. Yo, it's a good experience. It's really showing me and teaching me that I can't be a perfectionist no matter how bad I want to. That I can't be perfect every time at bat. You know what I mean? And I kind of gotta trust the process and go with the flow. Because it been times where I had 2-3 weeks of no progress and I was actually trying hard. Not to mention the week of the premiere, everything that could go wrong went wrong. From my computer to losing whole episodes to the sound acting up, the mic not working. And I'm the type of person that believe everything happened for a reason, right? So as this happening this week, I'm talking about and this other stuff besides the podcast, just in my life in general, my real life that just was making me think, wow, okay. Since I believe everything happened for a reason, I looked at it is this a sign that I should fall back? Or is this one of them times in my life I usually take everything as a challenge, as an obstacle, and just move past it. So, but I really was in limbo man, I don't know if this the right time. Maybe I need to just fall back for a little minute and wait till the current is a little bit more smooth. But me being me, I already set a date. Well, my sister helped me set a date. She the one that really pushed me. Shout out to her. My sister helped me, really put a stamp on it and really push myself. And that's really a big blessing for me, because me and her, we push each other hard. As far as when it comes to our business and our creative endeavors and everything that we do outside of our regular life and our jobs. You know what I mean? And we bounce ideas back and forth. We always did for each other. When one of us is weak, the other one is strong, and it's a beautiful thing. So I owe a lot of my the progress that I made to my sister and a few other close ones to me that deal with my shit on a daily basis. When I'm up, when I'm down, the good, the bad, the ugly. Word, I appreciate it. I don't want to cry on this, but I don't want to cry on my first podcast. So I'm gonna just move along. I ain't gonna try to hold y'all too long on the premiere neither. I just really want to give y'all some type of background and history and foundation on how the podcast came to be, what's the idea behind the name, the artwork, and I might shed a little bit of light on myself on this one. And I really do want to get into some of the things that's going on in 2020, a lot of things that we facing, and share my perspective on what I believe that might need to be changed, or the things that I see as mandatory moving forward through 2020. So, with no further ado, let's start with the name, right? Internal Affairs. What is that about? I chose the name Internal Affairs because, in the world we living in, right? It's I feel we, as a majority, as the masses, as the collective, we deal with each other on a surface level. Because first of all, 9 times out of 10, we only deal with each other online. Like, you could be right in front of a person and won't even hold a conversation with you. They'd be like, yo, just hit my Instagram or DM me or something. Like, nobody got time to like really have real human interactions. You know, feel each other vibe, look each other in the eye. You know what I'm saying? Get a feel for each other. It's always through some type of filter, some type of application or something like that. So me being like kind of old school, you know what I'm saying, and coming from a childhood where we used to just chill outside on the block and get our hands dirty, I felt like that's what we missing. Like, it's a real huge gap and disconnection between us and each other. We got a disconnection already with ourselves because we so on the move. Everything is instant. Everything is trendy. One day your sneakers hot, the next day they not. So, you know what I mean? I'm just trying to bring back the vibes of connection, so that when we talking about eternal affairs, right, we talking about the things that's way deep beneath the surface, like beneath your Jordans, beneath your Gucci outfit, beneath your Fendi, like, you know what I mean, beneath your car note or your house. Like, look at the times we dealing with right now, y'all. Like, shit is not about none of that right now. Shit is real, man. We barely got food right now, so, you know, I kind of had hindsight and knew what was going to be happening in the world right now, and I felt like it's the things that's going on the inside of us, because, you know, this world fucking tearing us apart. Like, let's be real. All of us are dealing with some type of trauma. You can't live in the United States and not deal with some type of trauma, some type of depression, some type of anxiety. So that's why I took it upon myself to like hone in on the fact that, yo, we have to get what Miss Lauryn Hill said, how you gonna win if you ain't right within. Like, it's really simple as that. Like, until you get right with yourself and you really, and when I say that, I just mean like whatever feel right to you. Like, whatever you like, however you like to feel, whatever you like to do, you know, get in tune with who you are, get in tune with your purpose. And that's one of the first things that I had to ask myself when I was down and out and like so confused. I was just like, yo, why am I even here on this planet? Like, what's my purpose? And I feel like that same energy coming back in 2020 is just that now the collective got to deal with it. I feel like it's a handful of us that have already been getting prepared for this time, and I feel like I'm definitely one of the people that's equipped for it. Because everything that's going on in the world, I pretty much was like, I already been out here on my own in the desert, moving from state to state, all type of stuff. So, you know, I could just speak on what I know. And what I do know is that until we deal with ourselves individually, we ain't moving nowhere as a collective. That shit is out. Like, they could pump that little stuff in y'all head about, oh, kumbaya, we just need to one size fits all and we got the cure and whatever the case may be. But I'm talking about, like, man, we psychologically messed up, we mentally messed up, we physically messed up, we are spiritually getting attacked on a whole nother level and don't even know it. So I feel like we have to address what's going on the internal end. In a future podcast, that's what you could expect. You could expect me to pick specific subjects and just really hone in on it and give you the details of that and dissect it and break it down to the best of my ability. But I'm just giving you a background right now on how everything came to be. But let's move on to the artwork. Now, when I first laid my eyes on this particular piece of artwork where you see the kids riding a bike, playing at a fire hydrant and all that, it automatically resonated with me because that's my childhood right in a nutshell right there. Like, that's what I would see when I walk outside my door in the summer. You know what I mean? And no matter what we was going through, no matter how much our parents was absent, no matter, we didn't even know we was really being neglected and stuff like that, or left astray or abandoned. But I do remember like we used to hang together in large groups sometimes. And I'm thinking like, damn, we used to get along like crazy. And I had to ask myself, like, okay, why did we used to get along? And why what was the reason for us hanging out back then? And what I came up with was, we used to hang out for the differences, not for the similarities, really. It was really more like, oh, you could rap, oh, you could sing, you could draw, you do fashion, you know how to sew, you model, you know, you jump rope, you hula hoop, whatever it was, you play ball, football. And we used to get behind each other like like for me, for example, I was a basketball player. I wasn't a rapper, but I had a friend or two that could rap. And if I heard somebody on the other side of town saying they friend rap, I'm like, he can't rap better than my man. You gotta see my man's. If he the nicest over here, he gotta come over my section and see my man. You feel me? We'll go run in the house and shake, you know what I mean? Shake our homeboy up like, oh, we got, you know what I mean? We come put that work in. We wasn't like competing with each other or trying to outshine each other. You feel what I'm saying? And just like I said about the title, like that's another gap like that we missing out on. Like now the coin and flip, it's like we hanging with each other for, oh, we got the same outfit on. Oh, we work at the same job. We got the same type of car. We in the same tax bracket or whatever the case may be. And I'm like, I don't see, I get it. Like, you know, you would want to hang with somebody that kind of think like you and act like you, but at the same time, you always going to need that other perspective. You're going to always need that somebody that got a characteristic that you don't have, a strength that you don't have. And in the world we living in now in 2020, everybody is seeking out some, like, basically yes men. I feel like fun ain't, like you said, if you look at the artwork, that's a picture that's got really took with kids really having fun in a moment, right? Nowadays, I feel like fun is orchestrated. Like, people really get up, they'll like, say for instance, I done heard people like basically overlook a whole week of their life because their birthday coming up, or they going on a trip in the next 2 weeks, so the rest of those 2 weeks don't count. They don't grind, they don't do no reflecting, they don't do no contemplation, they ain't trying to grow, they ain't reading no books, they ain't taking in no new information and change in no type of way. They just waiting for this moment, and they plotting on this moment so that they can make it look like and manipulate it to look like it's fun or look like whatever they want to give off to the world. And that take a lot of work too. So I kind of be wondering, like, if you could do all that, then man, you got enough energy to really put some real work in that's going to actually benefit somebody else coming behind you. You feel what I'm saying? If not nobody else, your own children. You feel me? So yeah, I think I explained that well. Like, that's the kind of the meaning behind the artwork, man. We used to have a ball when we was young, and even till our teenage years, we used to have a ball. I don't know, somewhere in the last 15 years, 10 years, we got lost in the music, and we came to this place where numb is the new normal or something. Like, I remember it used to be like, what's that Ghostface song with Mary J. Blige? All that I got is you. Don't say shit about my singing. And I'm so happy we made it through. Y'all know what I'm talking about. If y'all ain't in tune with that, I ain't really tapped in. Y'all know the All That I Got Is You by Ghostface Killer and Mary J. Blige. Like, we used to be like unified in the hood. Like, yo, like he was saying in the song, like, you go knock on next door for the sugar, you feel me? Like, y'all got some salt over here, y'all got some sugar, some Kool-Aid, something. There used to be that type, like, if we done with these clothes, send that down the street. You got extra food, you got a little hookup somewhere, help the next person out. Now it's like, we see a person down, we can't wait to spit on them and kick them while they down. And I'm trying to really hone in and really figure out where we went, where we got misconstrued at, lost our way. And cause now it's just like we really crabs in a bucket now. And this numb thing, right? It's all in the music. And I listen to the same music. Trust me, I'm listening to Future. I'm bumping all the Pillhead Kids sometimes when I'm in my mood. I'm chilling. Like, I'm not knocking nobody. They speaking about what they know. They speaking about their trauma. They speaking about their lifestyle. So I'm not here to each his own. All I'm saying is, if that's the only thing we subscribe to and we not open to nothing else, then we just all talk, we all like putting being numb on a pedestal, it's kind of dangerous. It's kind of dangerous everywhere you look. Oh, be numb in the music. You look on the movies. It's all about being numb. The women is telling the men now, yo, get out your feelings, and vice versa. And shit, in 2020, to be honest with you, your ass better be getting in your feelings. You better be trying to realize what's like really going on with you, why you tick the way you tick, and why you do what you do, and try to get a better understanding of the things that happen around you and to you from your childhood on up. And that's another thing that the cover art really depicts, like the fact that no matter how grown you get, no matter how old you get, it's still gonna be things that happen in your life, in your adolescent years, your teenage years, your young adult years, it's always shaping you. It's always making you who you are. You ain't just become who you are in one day. So like when I started healing and really realizing what's going on with me and getting a better understanding, I found out that a lot of the things that make me tick how I tick still to this day all really stem from my childhood. And it really makes sense. Like, think about when a murderer go to court. He might have gave a full out confession on video and tape, but they still will get him on. They want to get him on the stand to like give his explanation on what was his reason behind doing what he did. And they always take him back to where? Ding, ding, ding. His childhood. They always got to take you back to where the roots of what happened, where it started at, right? So like I say that to say this is what this podcast is really about, what it really embodies. And yo, like, other than that, I'm like, yo, I'm excited and I feel good about the progress that I made. I just want to put that out there. You know, a lot of times when you're doing something new, you be antsy about it, you get irritated, you get frustrated, or you like get nervous about it. And don't get it fucked up. Like, I'm nervous. I want everything to be perfect too. My first time out, this is my first podcast, but I gotta understand that everything is a work in progress, right? And when I think about it like that, it leave me a lot of more room to grow. It leave me a lot more room to mess up and not have to be so perfect. And I feel like the next generation that they trying to really terminate and wipe out, they need that type of space. They need that space to mess up. They need that place where they could go and be themselves, and it's not there no more. Cause look how we treat each other now. We looking at each other like ops all the time. Like, if you don't agree with what I say, then it's F you, you know what I mean? And these kids got a lot of pressure on them. And we can't just look at them like, oh, y'all just a lost cause, or all y'all want to do is pills and shit like that. Because to be honest with you, if you think you dealing with anxiety now and depression now, imagine what they dealing with. They literally got to be perfect human beings. They under a microscope. They can't wear the wrong sneakers. They can't stutter twice. They can't spell a word wrong online. You get what I'm saying? Like, they really so far. We think like, yo, they so far away from themselves because they all staring at each other and criticizing each other. That's all they really know. Because a lot of these mothers and fathers and cousins and all that, that's all they hear around them on the phone. People talking about other people gossiping, people putting other people down, people scrolling through the timelines, making group chats and all of that type of stuff just to spew out negativity. And they gonna do what they see, and they gonna jump right online and do the same things. And it's like, ain't nobody really setting no example for them. Ain't nobody really setting no bar high for them. It's a very few of us that's even got enough heart to even put ourselves out here to get criticized by the naysayers, to get analyzed and put down and all that. And it's like, yo, I take my hat off to y'all. But we living through history right now. Like every day you're a part of history, every day, like more than ever right now. And when 2020 came in and it put you in quarantine and it made you like really, hopefully it made you sit down and ask yourself, what is life? Like, what is going on within yourself, your household, your family, your relationships? Hopefully it pushed you to that point by now. And when you look at it, it's like, yo, you up to bat. It's your turn. Like, it's your turn to get your hands dirty. It's not about watching TV and waiting for somebody to send a care package, man. It's about getting to know yourself on an internal level. And that shit might sound real corny or whatever that might be, but I'm just that type of person. And that's that's the reason why I'm still alive, real talk. From just being kind of corny about life and believing in stuff like true love and fate and destiny and everything happened for a reason. That kept me out of a lot of shit. So I'll be the corny person. I'll be the spokesperson for all the cliche shit. Real talk. But yo, you faced with yourself. The clubs ain't really open. I mean, I guess they open them back up now, but at some point you had to really sit down. And some people ran and found a lot of shit to do and kept themselves distracted. But come on, like, I look at it like, I look at legacy. I look at what I'm leaving behind at this point in my life, and I'm like, I ain't about to go march in the street because I got my own reasons for doing what I'm doing. I'm not about to go march in the street for somebody else's reason and be begging them for something I could give myself. And that's nothing but the thing I could give myself is validation. I could define my own joy and happiness and my own purpose. I don't need nobody to come on TV and tell me that. That's going to drive me. That's going to always push me past any obstacle that I'm facing. You feel me? That's the shit that make me, even especially me being me and knowing some of the people I know, and you know how somebody from your section wants you to fail anyway, and they just can't wait to. Oh my God! So like when you up against that, you know what I'm saying? You gotta have a good reason for you to keep going, because the backlash definitely gonna come. People definitely gonna say you don't know what you're talking about, you don't know what you're doing, and you're gonna have to just understand that's nothing more than projection. That's how they really feel about themselves. They ain't find themselves, you know what I mean? So you gotta be comfortable with that. I want to talk a little bit more about the 2020. I'm gonna call it 2020 Essentialz, right? So like I said, we gotta make new mistakes, man. We can't keep making the same old mistakes or doing the same things that we did 10 years ago. I know people that still hanging on the same blocks they grew up on, like living and growing up in this. Like what one of the battle rappers said, you're gonna come home and grow up in the same house you grew up in. I'm big on battle rap too. Like I really like the I know y'all know about the battle rap. Most of y'all smack battle DVDs and all that. I'm from that era, so I like the process of like what they come up with, and I know they had to dig deep and put that together. I love that. I love the creativity of it and the like pure expression and point of view they come with. Like I love that. Boxing too. Like I love boxing. I love the fact that you got to prepare for a particular event or a particular person. So, but like I said, back on subject, it's important that we make new mistakes in 2020. It's important that we venture out into new areas and accept change, as hard as it is. And I'm saying this, and I'm going through so many upheavals and changes in my life as I speak. But it's like, you ain't got no choice but to be open to it, or you're going to fall to the wayside. And this is the thing about making new mistakes. See, when you doing something new, like for instance, if you go get a new job, when you don't know what you're about to do, you don't really know until you get trained. So every time you make a mistake and a person has to correct you, what happens? You get new data, you get new feedback. Now you know more. Now you know how to move forward. And that's all we need to be doing. We can't be like how jailbirds is. They go to jail for 5 years, come home for 3 months. Go to jail for 7 years, come home for 10 months. Like, and you wonder, like, why does this person keep repeating the same cycles? And it's really like a psychological thing. These are people that are afraid of change. These are people that are closed-minded, and they don't mind experiencing the same familiar consequences and repercussions and circumstances of their same old actions. They love the familiarity. They love the predictability of their lives. And a lot of them ain't gonna change. But hey, if you listening to this, then I'm pretty sure like you tapped in and you know what I'm talking about already anyway. There might be a few people on here, silent listeners, like you know how people know you, and they ain't gonna hit the like button. They ain't gonna promote your shit. They ain't gonna share it, but they gonna see if you're gonna be a train wreck and see if you and hate on your shit or whatever. You know what I mean? So shout out to y'all silent ninjas, because I know y'all on here too. And that's another thing I want to speak on. Like, and I did this on another podcast too, but it's like, don't worry about no support from nobody around you, from your section, man, from your family, or none of that. They might can't understand where you going with yours. A lot of us been born into families that we the only person that's gonna break the curse of that mentality. Honestly, I don't know if y'all believe in that, generational curses, but we fighting one in 2020 as a whole group and individually. So if you that person that's just start your business, you that person that you got your own vision, you changing, you viewing the world different, you seeing shit for what it is, you being more true to yourself, and that's probably like rubbing people the wrong way. You gotta stand on your 10 right now and be okay with that. For real. Because people like, let me tell you something, people don't know me for speaking or I mean the people close to me do, but I'm known for like just being a knucklehead, playing basketball, wearing designer shit, being caught up in all that bull crapping. And people won't be wanting to accept the fact that you changed. They want to put you in the freezer and be like, kind of treat you the same way that you used to accept in the past. And it's like, no, I grew up, like shit different. Like you can't control me with the fact that you my cousin, or the fact that I knew you for a whole bunch of years, or you my family. Like, nah, this is my life, and I'm gonna live my shit deliberately. So yeah, man, keep an open mind. If something new to you and it sound weird, don't reject it, man. If you smart, you'll like look into it yourself. You got every piece of information damn near known to man on your phone anyway. So it's only gonna take you 2 seconds. It ain't gonna hurt you. Word, like just become in 2020. It's gonna be essential. Like become okay with being weird. Like I said, being a standout black sheep, crazy. I've been through it for years, and I'd rather be called crazy than to be unprepared for the times we living in. To be honest with you, and there's probably a few of us that know that's really tapped in. Like this is the best time of my life, and it's crazy that all of this going on. But I have never been happier. I have never been more sure about who the fuck I am. Or none of that. Like I ain't budging off what I know, and I ain't budging off who I am. So 2020 is beautiful for me. Like all I see is blessings shining down on me. Like that's it. What else? I'm trying to, do I got anything else I want to kick it with y'all about? Yeah, like I said, the perspective of like lack. You want to scrutinize people. You want to compete with people and compare yourself to people. Like that's outdated, man. And I'm gonna tell you the first glimpse we got of that, right? This is the first glimpse we got of what was coming in 2020, and the fact that you're gonna have to either be the part and not be able to play the part no more. And it's gonna kind of sound weird to y'all, but check this out. Remember when Cardi B really came out? I'm talking about really when she came out with that Bodak Black, right? And everybody jumped behind that, and then she started to make more music, and people started to like gravitate towards her personality. Cardi B represented a certain type of energy, right? What happened as soon as Cardi B came out? It shined a whole light on Nicki Minaj's shadow. It made Nicki look whack. It made her look like, damn, we don't really vibe with you no more because you're not tangible. You don't seem to show no flaws. You don't seem to show no humanity. You like think about it. Her whole slogan, her whole persona is I'm a Barbie, some fake shit. And I love Nicki Minaj as an artist, and I love her creativity and what she do. So I'm not knocking her at all. I'm just saying, when Cardi came out, it kind of ushered in the era of like you have to be the part and not play the part. Like whatever your flaws is, you're gonna have to get used to them. Whatever your insecurities is, you're gonna have to like accept them, work on them or whatever. But you're gonna have to get past it and show up as you are. And that's when you will be embraced. You feel what I'm saying? So I think that's a great analogy. Like word, because Cardi came out teeth crooked, talking like a retarded person, could barely say a sentence, but she was who she was, and everybody gravitated towards. Even if it wasn't the talent, you gravitated towards the fact that damn, the energy, like she got presence, she in her body, she know who she is, she not trying to be nothing else. And that's the times we living in. So if you still looking for a facade or persona or something to try to act like you is what you ain't, if you speaking on some shit you don't know about, it's gonna show. Cause look, I know a lot of different things. Like I could talk about Bible verses, I could go in the Quran, I could break down some astrology, some I could talk about a whole plethora of things that I done read about, and I got some done some research on, but I gotta talk about what I know. I gotta talk about what I experience, and not some shit, no secondhand shit, because that ain't gonna come across. Nobody ain't gonna feel that. You get what I'm saying? So that's where we at with it in 2020, man. So it's essential that it's mandatory that you find out who you is and be yourself and not be ashamed. Everybody probably like, I already know who I am. Like, come on. If you know what you dealing with. And we haven't been taught how to deal with trauma. School ain't teach us how to deal with anxiety and PTSD and fear, none of that. So it's like, we only gonna learn from each other at this point. Like, through our testimonies, through our stories, we gonna have to share. Like, and that's all I'm really doing. Like, I don't want nothing out the deal. You could take it or leave it. I know who I am. I know what I've been through, and I know where this planet going right now. And I'm in my bag. I'm in my space, and I'm ready. So, other than that, I'm gonna probably just hit y'all on the next one because it's getting kind of lengthy right here. This is the premiere of the Internal Affairs podcast, and just expect more content, expect more truth, expect more just expect more realness. Like, I ain't gonna tell you, I ain't gonna speak on nothing I don't know about. That's one thing for sure. Cause it's just something I don't know how to do, and it don't come across well, period. I'm trying to see if it's anything in particular I want to talk about or leave y'all with before I go, man. I feel like y'all right here with me. I feel like we live, we out, and we chilling. But like I said, if you waited for this, if you anticipated this, and you supported it, and you know what I mean, you stood behind me, I really appreciate it. Cause it ain't, like I said, in this world, man, support is big, and people just don't know how to support something that they might not understand, or they might just not be ready for. So if you stay with me and you listen to the end, I appreciate you. And I'm gonna see y'all on the next one, man. Thank you. I guess we gonna say this was the premiere of the Eternal Affairz podcast. I'm gonna let y'all on the next one though.
You are now listening to the Eternal Affairz podcast.